Hi there, this is Tanya from the Prosper Hub. I'm just about to start my Instagram live and I'm waiting for a few people to join us. Hopefully some people will be joining us very soon. There we go. We've got a few people joining us. And today I'm going to be starting off a little series regarding our book, which is this. Which is the 6 Steps to Financial Freedom. Why listen to me? I always think, why listen to me? Well, I'll tell you a little bit of a reason why you should possibly listen to me, and also my lovely colleague Pam McKenzie, who isn't here today, but I'm sure you'll be seeing her on our Instagram very soon. And the reason to listen to me, why listen to me? Well, actually, I'm financially free. That's one thing to listen to me about. So I've been through the journey, and I did it with very, very little money, but I did an awful lot of learning. And so what does financially free mean? It means that it's basically the sweet spot between having to work and not having to work. So when you're financially free, you've got all your bills covered by an independent income. And it was a few years ago now, probably 2008, when the big crash happened, that I suddenly realised how vulnerable I was. When my business, which is I'm an interior designer, and my business took a massive hit because the clients that I was working for, doing show homes and doing renovations for their property investments, just stopped calling me, and I was taken aback. Obviously, none of us saw it coming, well, except for a few people who you might who they've created films about now. But the rest of us were completely in the dark and just suddenly saw the banks collapsing around us, and were in mild, if not complete, shock as our worlds were crumbling. So I'm part of what I call the squeezed middle. If you look up the squeezed middle online, you'll find out it's basically the middle class who have gradually seen their potential earnings eroding, the normal vehicles for creating wealth for their effort to retire on, like a pension. That's also eroded. Often they're professionals, and but they're finding that suddenly the earnings that they were expecting to get, which used to go gradually up, have either stayed static or gradually gone down. And this happened to me practically overnight, and I had to do an awful lot of running around thinking and shoring up the bank and cutting back and all that kind of stuff. And it was very quickly after that started happening that I realised, one, how vulnerable I was, and two, how little income I had unless I worked. So it brought me to start looking around for alternatives. It took a while to start kind of imagining it and seeing what was out there. And one day I met a lovely lady called Jill Fielding, who effectively became my guru for financial freedom. And her courses were the beginning of me creating financial freedom. So as I say, financial freedom isn't huge wealth. It is a backup plan, if you like. So, and it's not something that happens without working. You do have to work at it. You need to concentrate on it, etc., etc. So, consequently, having met Jill Fielding, I then met Pam, and we've been working together to create our financial freedoms over the last couple of years. We've created a portfolio of properties using a system that was taught to us by Jill, and we have also started off Prosper Hub, the Prosper Hub, which is all about helping other people achieve their financial freedom. Now, my financial freedom and your financial freedom might be very, very different. So for me, I don't have kids. So if you have kids, you might have your financial freedom point might be different from mine, you know, that you've got independence. Also, however, I live in the south of England, and if you know anything about the south of England and property prices, we've got a high mortgage in order to live where we live, and also I'm self-employed, so there's certain things that I can and can't do because of financial restraints as well. So my financial freedom point is going to be different from yours. Yours might be lower. yours might be higher. You might already have to be running a yacht and have 3 kids in private school or something like that. And suddenly thinking, oh my goodness, how on earth am I going to retire? I might have a good income, but somehow all the ends aren't meeting. Anyway, so from that, because we've achieved our financial freedom, we wanted to start helping people achieve theirs as well. We started up a property club in Crawley, which started off with me, Pam, Nick and Phil, just 4 of us in a little room. And then it expanded, and now we've got 40 or 50 people who come to be introduced to different ideas about financial freedom, about property investing, and to also, you know, gather knowledge, but also camaraderie as well. And that's one of the really important things about starting your financial freedom journey. So let me go back to this book that I'm going to be telling you about, because I'm just getting it back up on my little reader here. So this is it. Can you see that? I've got the lights all funny. There we go. 6 Steps to Financial Freedom. So what's going to be covered in this book, and what I'm going to be talking about over the rest of the week, is what the 6 steps are. So I've covered part of that already. First of all, step number 1 is to identify what your financial freedom mark is, and I'm going to give you a bit of homework at the end of this video, and hopefully you'll get it done by tomorrow. But if you don't, just write it down. It's something that you need to kind of think about. So what is financial freedom, and what's your financial freedom point? The next thing will be goals and how to set them. Very important. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know how to get there? The next thing will be, so I'm looking at my little list down here. The next thing is learn how to make money. So this is learning how to make money, not in necessarily the normal way that you're thinking, which is go out and get a job. We call a jobber just over broke, and it's about finding and identifying other things that you could do for the time being to enhance your earnings and to start kickstarting your financial freedom. Remember, for financial freedom, we're talking about passive income. That might not be a term that you've heard of before, but passive income is basically you work once for it, and then you keep on getting a return. It can be in form of investment. There's all sorts of different ways to create a passive income, and we'll be covering off some of those things and starting the thought processes that we think we had to go through and that you might need to start thinking about in order to start your financial freedom journey, or as we call our friends who are with us on this journey, our financial freedom fighters. So the next thing to learn is about how to avoid negativity and to think about abundance. It is going to be a difficult slog. I'm not going to lie. I had somebody say to me, I want to know what to do and get guaranteed results. Well, the results might be guaranteed, but the length of time to get there might be different for different people. And the results, you know, are only guaranteed if you keep on working at them and don't allow yourself to get into a negative slump. And also to kind of think. I had to really change my money mind, actually. It's all about money mind and changing how you approach, you know, a task towards financial freedom. What's the next thing? The next thing is taking action. I know it sounds a bit obvious, a bit like Nike Just Do It, but it's amazing how many people learn a new skill and then don't take any action to implement it. So one of the things that I think is very key with Pam and I is that we drive each other to take action. And we're very different minds. We've got very, very different ways of thinking, but we draw upon those 2 different types of thinking to take action, and we bully each other along. Sometimes we pull each other up. If one person's down, the other person's up. Very rarely are both of us down, and even if we are, we give each other a hug and we move on. It's taking those action steps even when you're thinking, oh my goodness, can I do this? Can I do this? What am I doing? How am I doing this? What's the next step? It's just constantly taking that little bit of action. And even when you're feeling like you're walking through treacle, how do you keep that positivity going, and how do you keep on taking those action steps? And the last one might sound a bit odd. Excuse me, hair in my face. Might sound a bit odd, but it's all about charitable thinking. It's not, financial freedom might sound very self-centered and, oh my goodness, she's talking about money and, oh, money's the root of all evil and all of that kind of stuff. However, money isn't the root of all evil. Money can be used to create positive things, and if it can create positive things in your immediate life, it can create positive things in your in other people's lives as well. So really, that bit's about thinking about how your financial freedom is going to impact well on the on people outside of your immediate circle. So for us, part of our charitable work was really starting off Crawley Property Meet. So we did that for free. We weren't making any money for it, but it was a way of bringing people together to start to support each other and help each other through difficult times. And we've got a really fabulous group of people who are constantly in contact with each other and helping each other, and on a daily basis, an hourly basis in some cases. And that really warms our heart, and it makes us feel that we're not just taking, we're giving as well. So that's basically, there we go, that's all the chapters covered in the book. But what I'm going to do is over the next few days I will be giving you a deeper insight into each of these things and what you can do. Now, I seem to remember saying that I was going to give you homework. The homework is... What's the homework? The homework is going to be identifying your financial freedom level. So, and the way to do this is to write down everything that you spend money on. Okay, everything that you spend money on, and you know, including your mortgage, your rent, petrol for the car, you know, any monthly outgoings that you have, fuel bills, everything that you spend your money on. It might scare you. I know it scares me. Just get a spreadsheet going and start just plopping things in there. Don't judge yourself. Just put everything that you're spending your money on down in a spreadsheet. And from that, we'll talk about the next thing to do with that list of things that you're spending your money on tomorrow. But the other thing that you can do as well is you can go to our blog, which is where you can download a copy of this book. So you can look at it through with me as we're going through each of the different stages. So if you go to our blog, it's theprosperhub.blogspot.com. That's theprosperhub.blogspot.com. And when you get the blog up, you'll see in the top left-hand corner, I think it is, somewhere where you can sign up, and then you'll get an instant email with the link for the book attached. And you can once you've clicked on that, you will be able to get it on your reader or on your computer, or you know, wherever it pops up, you can print it off, and it will give you the 6 steps to financial freedom. Anyway, that's enough from me, I should think, and I look forward to taking you on to the next step of your 6 steps to financial freedom. Bye for now.